Look real nice, talk real sweet, big bright smile, can't be beat. But wait, something's off, something's strange. Why do I feel drained and changed? It was evening when my cousin arrived. I studied her the way one studies an object left behind, carefully without urgency. Her face was still, almost carved, as if emotion had been edited out of her expression. There was no flicker of recognition, no softness, no instinctive response to another person's presence. I noticed that the absence, I noted the absence rather than the presence. No empathy, no warmth, no visible inner movement. It made me wonder, not with alarm but with detached curiosity, whether this emotional vacancy was habitual. I began to observe more closely, questioning if this stillness, this void where feeling should reside, was among the earliest indicators of narcissism. Curiosity began in the mind, but it soon compelled my body to move. What I had observed was not dramatic enough to provoke fear, yet too unusual to ignore. I turned to research, approaching the question as one would approach an anomaly. Why would a person display no visible emotion? I sifted through psychological literature, behavioral studies, and clinical descriptions, tracing patterns rather than conclusions. Gradually, a framework emerged. Emotional flatness, the absence of empathy, and a fixed, impenetrable demeanor appeared repeatedly in discussions of narcissistic personality traits. The realization did not arrive as an accusation, but as a hypothesis formed through observation, supported by evidence. What began as a silent encounter evolved into a small but unsettling scientific discovery. Here are the core signs of a narcissistic personality as I observe in my journey. Number 1. Excessive need for admiration. The narcissists constantly seek praise, validation, and attention. If they don't receive it, they may become angry, cold, or withdrawn. For instance, I saw my cousin's happiness, but it felt rehearsed, too visible, too carefully displayed. She moved as if the room were an audience, her smiles calibrated for effect, her laughter timed for recognition. Praise seemed to animate her. Attention sustained her. Without it, something essential appeared to falter. This contradiction unsettled me. How could someone who projected such confidence depend so heavily on external validation? This grandiosity was undeniable, yet it seemed to require constant reinforcement, as though her sense of self could not exist unobserved. I began to wonder whether this was not self-confidence at all, but its imagination, magnified, polished, and desperately maintained through the gaze of others. Number 2. Lack of empathy. The narcissist, like my cousin, struggle to genuinely understand or care about people's feelings. Your pain, for them, is often minimized, ignored, or used against you. For the narcissist, emotions are just materials, and people are just objects, as their puppets. They move through different walks of life, like the undead, present yet hollow. Their steps carry them forward, but nothing steers within. There is no pulse of empathy, no warmth of compassion, only a vacant continuity of motion. It is as though something has frozen in them, leaving behind bodies that function and faces that respond, while the heart remains suspended in permanent winter. Number 3. Grandiose sense of self-importance. The narcissists believe they are superior, special, or more deserving than others, even without their real achievements to support this belief. It is because they are egotistic and self-absorbed individuals. A self-absorbed person is someone whose attention is consistently turned inward toward their own needs, feelings, appearance, or importance, often at the expense of noticing or valuing others. Number 4. Entitlement. The narcissists expect special treatment and feel rules don't apply to them. Other people's boundaries are often violated because their needs come first. Number 5. Manipulative behavior. The narcissist may use guilt, fear, gaslighting, or emotional pressure to control others and get what they want. They never need to shout. Fear works better when it whispers. Guilt is planted carefully, watered daily until it grows roots inside another person's mind. Gaslighting blurs memory. Emotion bends under pressure. And soon, control no longer looks like control. It looks like concern. For instance, I saw it take hold of my mother. Not suddenly, but gradually. The way cold enters a room unnoticed. My cousin spoke softly, patiently, as if guiding rather than commanding. Though my thought, my mother's certainty dissolved. What remained was obedience, disguised as reason. Then the message was delivered to me. My mother said she would leave. Her voice was calm, almost gentle, as though abandonment were an ordinary consequence. The words were chosen with precision, meant to awaken a primitive terror, the fear of being alone, of being unanchored, of disappearing without witness. In that moment, the house felt unfamiliar. Love had been inverted, transformed into a threat. I understood then that the horror was not in the living itself, but in the realization that someone else had learned how to pull the strings silently, efficiently, while we stood frozen, watching ourselves unravel. Number 6. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where someone makes another person doubt their own reality, their memory, their perception, emotions, or sanity. At its core, it is about control, not confusion. They make you question your memory, feelings, or sanity by saying things like, for instance, if the intention is to minimize someone else's feelings, is by saying these words like, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting. Okay? So that's their way of doubting your perception. And another instance is when the motive of the narcissist is to deny things that clearly happen. So their way of doubting your own reality is by saying the words like, that never happened. You're imagining it. Number 7, blame shifting. The narcissists love to have power but rarely take responsibility. So for them, problems are always someone else's fault. They put the blame to others, the things that they have done. So for example, the situation is blame shifting or shifting blame. They will just say in the situation that if you haven't so emotional, this wouldn't happen. So they put the blame to others, the things that they, regarding the consequence of the things that they've done. Number 8, fragile ego beneath the confidence. Despite appearing confident, the narcissists are extremely sensitive to criticism and may react with rage, silence, or revenge. Number 9, control and dominance. The narcissist may try to control your choices, relationships, emotions, or even your self-worth. For them, people are objects, and people's emotions are just materials. It is their interest to manipulate or play people's emotions and minds. They are puppet monster or puppet masters who are playing with puppets on stage through people's emotional and mental energies. So how do narcissists make you feel? These are one of the clearest indicators. Number 1, you feel confused, drained, or emotionally exhausted. Number 2, you walk on eggshells. Number 3, you doubt yourself constantly. You are doubting constantly because of their gaslighting techniques. Number 4, you feel small about yourself or you feel guilty about what you have done or may say never enough. Number 5, you give more than you receive because the narcissists are self-absorbed. Self-absorbed means they keep on taking, receiving what else you can give to them. While you as the person surrounding or being with this narcissist is always giving away. You share, you give, and you never receive something from them in return. So as a result, you are energetically drained. While you are energetically drained, they are absorbing your energies since they are also called as the energy vampires. They are energy vampires because they can play with your energies mentally and emotionally. At the same time, they absorb both your good energy and bad energy or low vibrational energy.